everyone, and welcome back to another fun show and tell video, a video game themed show and tell video. This one about all of my Game Boy Color games that I had as a kid. This isn't my Game Boy Color, it's a Game Boy Advanced. Funny enough, I actually can't find my Game Boy Color. No idea what happened to it. It was just the typical purple one, like the purple see-through one. It's like a little darker than this. But yeah, don't know what happened to it. But I did, when I was looking for this stuff, I found one of the very first games I ever got inside my Game Boy Advance still, so I thought that would still be a fun way to start this video. We'll do Game Boy Advance games a different day, because I can definitely do 2 full videos for both types of games. But also the back of my Game Boy Advance broke off, but if you can see in here, this is one of the two first games I got, like when I actually got my Game Boy Color. We have right here Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. And I'm gonna be honest, between like this and then all of the Super Mario games for the Super Nintendo, I can't hardly remember which one's which, but I know that this was a lot of fun, and clearly the fact that I was still playing it even on my Game Boy Advance, long after I originally got this, I think as a sign, that it was a very good game. I don't think I ever beat it, but clearly got a lot of entertainment from it. So, and I also want to note that with Game Boy games in particular, there are like a lot of just black holes in my memory where I cannot remember sometimes anything about like an entire game. More so with the Game Boy Advance stuff than Game Boy Color. But yeah, so that could make this interesting, but if it does happen where I just blank out on what a game was about or included or whatever, and you happen to know, please let me know in the comments. Because you might be able to trigger something in my long lost memories. Just looking at this close up, that was such a fun thing about, like the early 2000s where so many electronics were see-through, and which we'll have with some more of these games as well. But yeah, one of the first 2 games, and now the other game, the second of my first 2 games, was, of course, this good old classic. Got that, and then I have only ever played 2 other Pokemon games, at least traditional Pokemon games, not counting like Pokemon Stadium like I've talked about previously. But the other 2 I've played are, of course, Silver. I've mentioned before, I'm a very big Lugia fan, or if I have to pick between him and, I don't even know the other bird's name that was on the gold version, because I just didn't really care about him. I mentioned previously, I'm like, there are too many Pokemon, I don't have time to learn the names of the ones I don't like. But I got that. And then the final one was Crystal. Which of course was probably my favorite, if for no other reason than I loved the color on it. But yeah, I've always, even when I was a little kid, when Pokemon first blew up, even then I wasn't big on the games. Like I played was much more into collecting the cards and watching the show. And even though I collected cards, I didn't like play the game. I just liked the cards because I liked the artwork on them. And so I've always been like that kind of fan where I've just really loved the characters and Pokemon themselves, and that's still how I am to this day, as opposed to like really playing the actual games and stuff like that. But yeah, I did play these. I don't know if I finished this one, but pretty sure I finished these two. And I remember there being lots of fights between both me and my friends and other people, like whenever you would do the multiplayer thing, where you would hook up your Game Boys and battle each other. I think I had some destroyed friendships, like temporarily destroyed friendships, but still, for a while, when playing these games, because somebody won and it was like a big issue or something like that, but yeah. My Pokemon games. And now, this is one that's probably going to seem silly, but it was so much fun. I remember playing this one a whole lot, and that is this Angelica Rugrats game called Rugrats Totally Angelica. With Game Boy games, I think I really enjoyed, or on my Game Boys, I really enjoyed just having more like mindless games. I have some games that are more like, it requires you to get more in depth with the gameplay or whatever, but I mostly just wanted like stuff, like if I was on an airplane or, trying to kill time, like just those sort of mindless, like mobile game type stuff that would really help me pass the time, and that is very much what this is. It was so good. I remember basically you were like in a mall as Angelica, and you could walk around the mall and go into different shops, and like the different shops were different mini games. And the only two that I specifically remember was there was an area, like I think if you got a certain amount of points on certain mini games, you could like get outfits and makeup and stuff, and you could dress her up. But then there was another one which was almost like a maze thing, almost like a pinball maze, where you had to shoot this ball through it and like, get to the end. That was very fun. Yeah, just a lot of mini games like that were Rugrats and Angelica themed. Again, super simple, super silly, but one that I remember playing much more than some of the other games that I have. And moving on, this is a good one. This is another just like mindless game, but it was so much fun. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels Stunt Track Driver. Which, of course, is a racing game. And it was really fun. It was like you were on an actual, like, toy Hot Wheels track racing, 2D, so where you were just, like, looking at it from the sides. And so, like, there wasn't a lot of, it wasn't like Mario Kart where, you could steer and weave in and out of things. It was, you mostly just controlled, like, the acceleration. And then I think that there were, like, ramps where you didn't technically jump, but kind of, like, you could control that, like, how far your car would fly off the ramp, and then you could do flips with it too. And this is another one I have just very, very distinct memories of. Again, it's like sometimes just the simple things are the best things. And I was a big fan of that. I don't have as much memory of this. I don't think I played this one very much, because it just wasn't that good. But it's kind of funny, just, one of these film franchises that had games made of it. And this is Men in Black, the series. And basically you just, I think you were Will Smith's character, and you just went around 2D again. So you just walked around and shot aliens. That's basically it. And the one thing I specifically remember is I think you could have several different types of guns. And one was that super small gun, but it's like the most powerful one. And when you shot it, it like blew you back because it had so much power behind it. Yeah, that's just my little memory of it. So, yeah, nothing too special about that one. I was a very big Men in Black fan as a kid, and it was primarily because of the Men in Black ride at Universal Studios in Florida. Oh gosh, I have such good memories of that. So I feel like less so because of the movies and more so because of that ride is probably why I wanted this, or why someone thought to get it for me. And next, oh, this is a great one. This is so good. I was a huge Powerpuff Girls fan too, specifically Buttercup, because I was a little tomboy. And I loved her. And I also had really short hair, so I bonded. I felt that connection with her because of that. But yeah, this, let's see the back there. And it is the Powerpuff Girls Paint the Townsville Green. And with this, there were 3 versions. So there was the Buttercup one, and then the Blossom one, and the Bubbles one. And with Buttercup, the main villains that you fought were the Gang Green Gang. With Blossom, it was Mojo Jojo, and then Bubbles, I cannot remember the guy's name. I keep wanting to call him something like Snuffleupagus or whatever the elephant thing's name is from Sesame Street. I know that's not his name, but he was like had pink fur all over him, and I think he had some like little antenna things, and then I think he wore like overalls or something. But that was the character, the main villain for Bubbles. But this was a very fun game as well. I was, like I said, I was just a huge Powerpuff Girl fan, so even if it wasn't a fun game, I, would have had to have it. Would probably still have somewhat fond memories of this. So, a very good one. And now, moving on to, oh, this is good. Or, I'm going to save that. Let's go to these next. So I had some of these cases, which was fun, and I don't know if you've seen, it's kind of an old meme at this point, I think, but a meme where someone is like using these to hold condoms, so like a condom doesn't get damaged, and it's like, that's a great way to be thrifty. I think it's a great idea. But yeah, later in the video I'll show as well all of the like ridiculous crap I had for my Game Boys, like all of the stupid accessories and stuff. Such a gear slut as a kid, and even now, even if it's for other things besides video games. But here we have, if you can see through there, and I'm oh so proud of myself, for color coding these. But we have the Legend of Zelda games, the Oracle games. I originally only wanted this one, the Oracle of Seasons, and somehow ended up getting this one too. But the reason I wanted this one is because I thought Din just looked so cool in all of the artwork, and just thought she seemed like a super fun, tomboy-looking type girl character. Again, me being a little tomboy, someone I could relate to, but was still very pretty. So I got it just because I liked her because of that. So this one, and then the Oracle of, wait, I said that right? I said this was Seasons, right? Yeah. Oracle of Seasons and the Oracle of Ages. And I gotta be honest, besides like all of the character artwork and stuff for these. I don't remember much about these Legend of Zelda games. Again, I think it was just my mindset as a kid playing my Game Boy. It's like even, you know, these type of Legend of Zelda games were just like, I don't have time to, you know, focus my mind on those right now. Just let me go back to playing Angelica while I'm, you know, waiting. I remember playing my Game Boy once at a funeral because it kept me entertained as a kid. It's like, let me just play Angelica or Super Mario Brothers while I wait for this funeral to be over. Not get in depth into Legend of Zelda games. But I'm still very happy I have these, and a little I remember of playing them. They were, of course, quite fun. So, very, very good games. Just because we're doing this, looking at the back of them. Put them back in their color-coded cases. I'm curious if these, like, actually really did any protecting of games. Like, I have my Game Boy, like, actual cases for, like, carrying the actual Game Boy and all of the games together. Like, is there any, like, were these just useless, you know, extra ways to make money, or were these, like, legit and adding some extra protection to the game cartridges? I'm curious. But I may never know. And next, I'm not gonna go full fangirl like I did on my Nintendo 64 video. But, you know, get a little excited over Harvest Moon for the Game Boy. Does this one have a specific name? I don't know if that's like a specific, like the type, like the specific game name. It says Harvest Moon. Oh, GBC, Game Boy Color. Duh. So I guess that was the name of it. If I remember correctly, I think that this was very, very, very similar to the Harvest Moon game that was released for PlayStation. It's been a long time, but I remember, like, getting the PlayStation Harvest Moon and playing it, and playing this too, and being like, these ones feel like the same game. Because that was something I really loved about having so many Harvest Moon games, is that even though it's the same premise in them all, they still felt like, you know, they were different art styles and, you know, different enough where it felt like a different game. But I was like, well, I'm just going to end up playing the same game twice. So I think that might have been the case with this. I think if I ended up choosing, I chose this one over the PlayStation. But yeah, I won't get into crazy fangirl mode like I previously have, because you all know already my love for Harvest Moon. Love it so much. Some of you guys have been on me to start playing Stardew Valley. Let me say, actually, just yesterday, I met up with one of my very good friends who recently started playing Stardew Valley, and she, like, ran me through everything. And while it does sound fabulous, I don't have time. I don't have time. The Elden Ring DLC is about to be released in less than a month. Like, no, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm going to be losing my life to Elden Ring as it is. So, I don't need to enable my video game addiction even more. That's why I don't play video games anymore. I do, but only specific rare games. So, no Stardew Valley. I'm sorry. Alright, this is another one that I have no memory of, and I think I just got it because of the art style. When I was a kid, this was before anime was, you know, it was still like a fringe thing at the time. And, of course, You couldn't just access anything you wanted via the internet. It was a little, not a little, but a lot more difficult to find anime type products, whatever, content. And so, like, just any games that I saw that seemed like they had some sort of an anime art style, it's like I didn't even have to know what it was about. I jumped on it and I was like, I want it. I just needed more anime in my life because I couldn't find, hardly anything besides Sailor Moon or Cardcaptor stuff or Dragon Ball Z stuff. So, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I got this game. Anyway, that little explanation out of the way. This is Dragon Warrior Monsters 2, Cobi's Journey. It says Enix down here. I assume Square Enix, or it's now Square Enix. Haven't they changed their name like several times over the years? Yeah, it has to be, because there's one of those little slime guys too. Yeah, I don't know memory. Like, most of my games, I have at least memory of playing them, even if I don't remember a lot of what they were about. I have no memory of even playing this game. So please, if you have played this game or you're familiar with it in any way, I would love for you to school me in the comments. And let me know if it was good or not, too. But yeah, Dragon Warrior 2. Only 2 more Game Boy Color games. We'll do this one next because I do have some memory of this one. I've always really, oh no. Oh, this is the one that I put in the wrong way. We'll see if I can get this open. Sorry. God damn. Oh shit. I just did my nails and fucked them up. Oh, man, that really sucks. Open up. Oh, got it. All right. Oh, man, the things I do for y'all. God, I totally messed up my nail strengthener. Now I'm gonna have to redo them. But whatever. So I've always really been, I guess, like, I enjoy playing Mega Man, but I don't know, like, anything really about, like, Mega Man lore or whatever, which is interesting because I feel like usually I get more into games just for the lore aspect as opposed to actually playing the game. But it's like the opposite with Mega Man. I've just always really enjoyed Mega Man games. And this one right here, we have Mega Man Xtreme. Not much memory about it either, but I know that I liked it, again, because I don't think I've ever played a Mega Man game that I did not enjoy in some way. So, that was a lot of work to open up that case, but at least y'all got to see it. Yeah, it's a fun game. God, I'm mad about my nails, though. Damn it. Okay, last Game Boy Color game. This one I have no memory of either. I saw this one earlier, and I tried to like Google something about it, and I guess it's like a series, an ongoing series. And I think it's a turn-based game, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah, no memory of even playing it. I do very much remember the picture on the front of this. This is Lufia, the Legend Returns. And there's the back. If you're interested, no idea what this is about. Another game that I got just because the artwork looked kind of anime-ish. So, oh wait, hold on. same developer or whatever as Harvest Moon. Interesting. Oh, I think it must have been good if it's by the same people who did Harvest Moon. But yeah, please tell me if this was a good one or not. Like I said, I did a brief Google search. I know it was a series, but I don't know anything about any of it. So yeah, there's that. And now let me take you through some of my accessories and other crapple that I got as a kid. These ones, I think I'm going to focus specifically on the Game Boy Color ones, of course, and then I don't have as many, I don't think, for Game Boy Advance, but I'll do those in that other video when we get to that down the line. Alright, so we're going to start with all of this crap. Let's look at this. I know I had at least one more light, but these things were so stinking popular. And all the different colors, this light, because I guess the Game Boys just are not bright enough. But I had this. I think I had a blue one too. I do think that one of them might have broken, and that's why I got this one too. So there's that. And then I have this one, which is not just a light. Oh no. It has both a light and then like a magnifier. Like so. Because, you know, us kids just could not see well enough our games. I'm sure there are people who this did benefit a lot. I was not someone who needed it. I just wanted it because I wanted more crap. Yeah. Alright, so I have like not much memory what this is for. I remember hearing everyone talk about it, and it says Brain Boy. The main thing I remember, and then I'll show you. So you stick this into the actual, I have to show you with my Game Boy Advance because I don't have my Game Boy Color, but you like, there we go. Stick that in there, and then you stick the game cartridge like upside down. Did that go in the right way? There we go. I think that's the right way. Upside down like that. And the main thing I remember this, I'm pretty sure it was this, using it for, is you could use it to cheat on Pokemon and like take your Pokemon up to the max level, or you could like, you know, if you had some sort of like super weak Pokemon, you could change it to like a legendary Pokemon or something like that without having to capture them. I remember using it for that. I don't know what else this would have been used for. I'm sure you could probably do something like that on a lot of games, like maybe just leveling up, you know, your character, doing crazy things like that. But yeah, I just remember using it to cheat on Pokemon. Oh gosh, I would never dream of doing something like that these days, let me just say. I'm very much against like modding games in order to like make them easier and stuff like that. No, I do enjoy the challenge, which is why I like Soulsborne games. But clearly I did not care at all when I was a child. Yeah. Oh, and there's this. So I have like all these fun cubes too. This one especially. Let's see. So I think, I don't fully remember, I think that it was like these two ends. Maybe not for the Advance, maybe it was something different. Oh no, yeah. Okay, so I think these two ends were for like hooking up your Game Boys, or like in Pokemon if you wanted to battle each other. Got some batteries in here. This other stuff is all Game Boy Advance, I think. So yeah, that's that's it. I hope this one was as interesting. I think that my Nintendo 64 video was like super fun, and again, I hope that despite me having these like big holes in my memory for a lot of my Game Boy games, this one was still somewhat fun, and at least nostalgic to look at some of these old games again. Please let me know your personal favorite Game Boy Color or just Game Boy, the original Game Boy games. Let me know if any of these that I don't have memories of, if you do. And also, let me know what your favorite, and we're sticking to Game Boy and Game Boy Color, so that is yellow, blue, red, silver, gold, and crystal, I believe, are all of them. What your favorite Game Boy or Game Boy Color Pokemon game is, and if you got into lots of fights with your friends when battling them like I did. I would love to know that. And thank you for joining me. I don't know if I'll be able to film the Game Boy Advanced video super soon, but eventually I will make a Game Boy Advanced video as well, because I've got all those games sitting right next to me. I just need to have the time. So I'll look forward to that, and I hope you will join me again, and I hope that you have a lovely evening, and I will see you later. Good night.